Not an easy Clasico to predict. These two teams are up and down, really. There's no real big star apart from Benzema, and yet the unpredictability makes it really exciting. So I'm gonna have a coffee and get a taxi, because today is Barcelona's media day at the Johan Cruyff Stadium. That'll give me time to think about what to talk to you about. Getting ready for the players to arrive. You can see all that. And over there, all the media, international media, the ones with the rights. Before they arrive, let me tell you a few things that are happening in this Clasico. First of all, there's only one superstar ahead of others, and that's Benzema. He's a candidate for the Ballon d'Or, deservedly so as well, scoring more than ever, assisting more than ever, and everything that's good in attack goes via him. But interestingly enough, this season, he's got somebody else to help him with that role, and that's Vinicius. Vinicius, who scored already more than he's ever scored in a season, and also assisting and doing the kind of things that he did last season and the season before, but converting those chances. I spoke to Ancelotti after the Shakhtar Donetsk game in Kiev, and I said, oh, he's at the next level, isn't he? And Ancelotti said, no, he's not. So he wants more of Vinicius, but in any case, the rest of the team, it's what you expect, with Modric, with Kroos and Casemiro, perhaps one of those midfields in the history of the game. Xavi, Busquets and Iniesta ahead, but not many more. And 4-3-3 will be the formation of Real Madrid. They've got a clear idea now, or Ancelotti has. It's 4-3-3, that's what they're used to, with partnership in the middle of the defense that is going to grow. Alaba is becoming a leader, and Militao, with his pace and his good defending, is helping the side. But despite the 5 goals scored against Shakhtar Donetsk, they come on the back of 2 defeats against Sheriff and Espanyol, and 1 draw against Villarreal, and they should have lost that one. So form is a little bit iffy. For Barcelona, well, the main star is crosses. They were at bottom of the table of crosses last season. They're second. Only Osasuna are ahead. That's the new Barcelona. A Barcelona that actually doesn't go through the middle, and once it gets the ball into the midfield, they put it into the wide areas where Dest or Jordi Alba, who is a doubt for the game, put crosses in. The problem is who is finishing them. They don't have really strikers to do that, but I think it requires much more work and accuracy and intensity in everything they do if you want to play through the middle. At the moment, they're not finding that, either because there is not enough training or because the players are not comfortable, they don't have confidence. Whatever the reason, Koeman has decided that the game has to go by the wings and put the cross in. Not like Barcelona, really, and one that Real Madrid could defend well. That's why I think Real Madrid have got certain advantage on this game.
¿Cómo va la vida? ¿Todo bien? Bien, todo tranquilo.
The players came and we had the opportunity to chat to some of them. Sometimes the most interesting bit takes place not in front of cameras, but when you do one of those chit chats where you catch up with people that you like and that have been friends for a while. And particularly with Ansu Fati, it was my chance, my first opportunity to tell him that his brother is doing really well. Brahima rescinded his contract with Barcelona a month and a half ago, moved to England to play for Biggleswade United, the club I'm the chairman of.
Biggleswade
United.
Sí. Balague, ¿no?
And he said, oh yeah, he was telling me that his brother is enjoying it. And he also said, I'll come to see you. I said, at the Kids Hospice Stadium? He says, yeah. I've never been to London, he said. It'd be an opportunity to see London and see my brother play. He was walking away from me, turned around and he was like, yeah, I will. Well, that'd be nice. Anyway, big games at the weekend in the Kids Hospice Stadium. On Sunday, we play the Women's FA Cup. And by the way, we have an amazing program. It's like a Premier League program, I'm telling you. So make sure you get a copy of it if you are at the Kids Hospice Stadium on Sunday, which is when the game is. Anyway, just to conclude with the analysis of the Clasico, I did say earlier that there was only one candidate to the Ballon d'Or in this Clasico, and that's Benzema, of course. He's doing a big campaign with the media and with his friends to remind everyone that he has been very important to Real Madrid, and absolutely he is, as we explained. But one future candidate to do the Ballon d'Or, that's Ansu Fati. He renewed his contract with Barcelona until 20 27 with a buyout clause of €1 billion. And you are talking about somebody that while the team find the fit, while they're actually trying to play the best football they can, he can just destroy all the preparations from the rival with a move and a shoot. He can change games. Ansu Fati is such one of God, one of those special talents that not only has got quality with the ball, but he chooses moments fantastically well for his team. He is, of course, already the youngest goal scorer in the history of Barcelona and Spain, the youngest debutant as well with Spain and Barcelona, the youngest goal scorer in the Champions League for Barcelona, etc. So it is somebody that rested in midweek, didn't start, with the idea of starting the Clasico. And not many players have got that ability to make things happen when it is required. But the problem is Barcelona do not control games in the way that they used to, and they will require that individual quality to actually make an impact here. And why is that? Why don't you see a Barcelona that is mostly using crosses? Well, because I feel that the Young and Gavi, the midfielders alongside Busquets, they tend to drop too deep. They don't stay in between the lines long enough to receive the ball and turn and then feed the strikers. That's not happening. And because it's not happening, it all becomes predictable. And then they start using that resource of putting crosses in. Not ideal for Barcelona. One stat that helps Barcelona is that Carlo Ancelotti has been 5 times in the Camp Nou with 3 different sides. Can you guess? Milan, Real Madrid and PSG. And he hasn't managed to get a victory. In fact, the 2 visits with Real Madrid were 2 defeats, but that was a different era. I still feel that Real Madrid read the games better. They don't need to complicate matters to actually make an impact, and that they will allow Barcelona to have possession. They will absorb Real Madrid, absorb pressure and use the space created in behind to hurt Barcelona. So in my eyes, at the moment Real Madrid are favourites. But you know what happens in a Clasico generally? Those you think are the favourites do not win. Now there is no logic to that. It doesn't help with the analysis of the game, the preview of it anyway, and I don't even know if it's scientific, but it's something that happens very often. Which is another way of saying Clasico, any Clasico, is so unpredictable. We don't know much how these sides are going to play, because they're able to play very well or badly and lose. We are watching players that in the future there will be the symbols of these 2 clubs. We see them developing. So imagine, I don't know, Messi when he was 17, 18, that's what you are watching now with Ansu Fati, with Gavi, Araujo is injured. And the same with Real Madrid. Let's see if Rodrigo plays, certainly Vinicius, Valverde. All those players are going to be players that will determine the fate of these sides in the next decade. So dress up as Explorer and enjoy the Clasico.